Bryan Wellbrock, and I retired as a lieutenant commander, LDO. We were fixing to do the 86 WestPac, and there's a 3-month period before a deployment that you're really busy. You know, you're training new people that are coming on board, you're making sure your equipment works. There are a lot of different things that you have to do to just make sure that you deploy. I mean, it's one thing to go out for 10 days or so and come back. It's another whole different thing to be gone for 8 or 9 months. So engineering is doing a lot of work, communications is doing a lot of work, the operations guys are radars and all the kind of stuff like that. You're exercising and working everything. If it doesn't work, you're getting it worked on. And so I was going back and forth to domestics, and one day they have a bulletin board back there with all kinds of little things stuck up on it. There was a notice up there that the chaplain, one of the chaplains, was interested in starting up a clown troupe. And I thought, this is crazy, you know. And so I went about it and saw it a few times, and he was having an organizational meeting one day. It was coming up a little bit closer. And one day I noticed a couple other people looking at this thing and stuff, and we were just standing there joking about the clown troupe. And so I don't know what compelled me to do it, but he had an organizational meeting. We went to that. There was about 15, 18 of us, I guess, or so. And he kind of said what his vision was. The head chaplain had met a professional clown that he knew personally. And they had kind of talked about that. And he said, hey, if you got people that would want to do this, I would be willing to come and train those people professionally and not just set them loose. So we did, and we went to the first meeting. It sounded kind of stupid. We met the clown came the next time, and he's talking to us and everything. And I just got involved in this thing. And what we ended up doing was becoming semi-professional, I guess would be the best words. He taught us all the etiquette. He taught us all the other stuff. We had to go find our own, put together our own outfits. He taught us, we had to order all the grease paints and stuff to do things. He taught us the proper way to do all of those things, put it on. It's actually a layer of skin when you get done. Kids can mess with it and stuff you can't mess with. But it really got to be something that was unique, that was different. And so we decided to keep working on it. He worked with us for about 2.5, 3 months, I guess. We actually got certificates from graduating from Size Clown School. And we had to pick our own names, develop our own character. He helped us with faces and stuff like that. And so we got to a point where we thought we might be able to pull this off. I mean, we're not sure what this is. And so we thought we'd pick on the daycare center over on the base there in Long Beach first and see what happened. I had duty that day, and a bunch of them went over there. They came back and was like, I don't know, you know, this is tougher than we think it's going to be, but we think it's a good start. And maybe if we keep at it, I don't know. So we did. We stuck this thing out, and we deployed and continued to work on things on the ship, working on skits and some other things like that. So we weren't just doing individual, I mean, running around acting silly and making balloon animals and stuff like that. You do those one-on-one, but you have to have something for the group to do. So we had some skits and stuff that we started developing, and I paired up with a BTC chief down in Mike Ailes. You just talked to him, one of the chiefs that worked for him and stuff. And him and I worked up some skits, and some other ones did too. So we went there so we could entertain with funny things and stuff like that. As we got into this thing, we deployed, and we stopped at Pearl Harbor first, because you turn over, the guys coming from WestPac meet you, you turn over all the stuff that's going on and stuff. And so we decided to go up there and work at Tripper Army Hospital, which is a huge hospital there on Oahu. And we got in there, and we thought, well, we'll go to the orthopedic wards, because those are just ambulatory people. And we're in there joking around and messing with people and doing things and having a good time, and so were they. And we thought, you know, maybe this thing will work. And we kind of worked on the thing and stuff. The chaplain that started this whole thing was a priest, a Catholic priest. And he's with us. He's also one of the clowns. And we're going around doing different things. We finished that. We've gone with, and they said, well, we had some time. We wanted to go up and do some of the pediatric areas. So we went into those. We had some fun with the kids and stuff like that. And we got into one area that was, I don't know what it was, but it was some rooms and stuff. And there was one, we kind of poked a head in, or he did. And there was an elderly lady sitting in there with a little girl sitting laying in a bed. And he said, can we come in and stuff? And so we did, and went in, and she woke up and stuff, just enough to look around, see who we were and everything, gives a big old smile, and went back to sleep. Come to find out, they were just, she was probably about, I don't know, 6 or 8. And her grandmother was there because her mother had just gone home to take a bath and stuff, but they were there 24/7, and there was no hope. And so Father Bob asked her, you know, well, he never really said, you know, what faith are you or anything, but he said, here's what I am in real life, and would it be okay if I did a blessing? And we just pray over her for a minute. So we kind of all gathered around the bed, and we did, and he did that and everything. And at the time, it's like, this ain't what we signed up for, you know. And so we got through all of that and stuff, and we walked out real quietly, and the little girl had come to a second time when he was blessing her, smiled at him, this huge smile, and just right back to sleep. And so we left, and we were just quiet. We left out of there and stuff. We could, I don't know. And we all gathered outside. They have a big area and stuff out in the grounds. We kind of did a hot wash up out there, and we were talking about it. And we had one guy said, I can't do this. You know, we're going to get more of this. And so we're going to be working in children's hospitals and orphanages and all this kind of stuff in WestPac. We don't even know where we're going, but it's not going to be anything that, if anything, it's going to be worse, or could be worse than this. And he said, I can't do that. I can't smile on the outside and die on the inside. So he said, I can't, but what I would like to do is, because we hadn't been taking any pictures, he said, I just want to stay with you guys, stay in civilian, I'll take pictures. And he's a pretty good photographer. So he was taking pictures and stuff of the whole thing. And we went to some of the craziest places you'll ever see. I mean, we gave up a whole Liberty Day to go back in country, some of the places, the U.S. attaches and stuff would set these up for us. And we went to some in Bangkok, and Thailand, Japan, and we ended up on AFRTS a couple of nights, the news. We actually ended up on a Japanese news station, and it got to be more of a mission than just clowning around. We really felt like we had become ambassadors, and we got into some of them where a lot of the kids and stuff were maimed. They had, because in Thailand and some of those areas, they still had battlefields and stuff in there. The kids get out, and you still hear about it today. They uncover some munitions or something. Well, they get hurt and stuff. They'd end up in these places, and but we would go in there and just change their whole day. But I think they changed ours more than anything. And come to find out, when it was all over and done with, on our way back and stuff, we found out that this had never been done before, not as a group. Now, there was always an individual that would do that just as part of the crew. He would go along with Project Hand Class people. I don't know if you know what that is. They go and paint and repair places. They would just kind of go along. We tried that one time, it didn't work. We were too much of a distraction for them as well, because they all coming over to see what we're doing while the kids are having so much fun. And so we separated ourselves, and we found a way to work through the military attaches and stuff to go to different places. So, make a long story short, as far as we could tell, and as far as anybody could tell, that was the first organized clown troupe, you know, that had ever been done. So we made it on the cover of the Navy Times, right on the front page, and everything. But yeah, there's no, I took all the pictures and stuff when he got done, and we laid them all out and numbered all the pictures and stuff. And some guys wanted pictures of these because they were in them, and some of them wanted these, and so it's still negatives back then, so we were sending these things off and making copies of them. But I kept the whole master set of those things, and I put them in envelopes, and wrote on where it was, and kind of just put them away. Some years later, probably about 6, 7 years now, from now, I got them all out and started looking through them, and the whole thing come back to me again. So I got my laptop out and started working on that, and actually wrote a book about the whole experience, and with the pictures, lots of pictures in it, but the book is part of it and stuff. And I'm working right now with the Battleship Museum about that very thing, and someday they'll own it, and everybody will be able to get to see what we did.